How are we? I hope you're all well. Today I'm doing a get ready with me for the show, doing this makeup look. This lighting is actually washing me out quite a lot. I've actually got a lot of blush on right now. But I'm also going to be answering all of your questions that you asked on my Instagram, and some of them are a little bit juicy. So stay tuned and give this video a like if you enjoy it. Hello. I am actually really stupidly annoyed because I've got these fancy Rode microphones ready to go, but my camera is so stinking old that it doesn't even have the right, basically, socket for the wires that I've bought to go in there. So that's fun. I'm gonna order some online. I just thought, let's just treat myself. I've been making an okay amount of money on YouTube recently, and why not like invest that money that you guys have literally given me by watching my videos into making my content better for you guys. But today I've gotten a misfire, so we'll do this another time. But yeah, hopefully in my next couple of videos the sound quality will be even better than before. Okay, so I have received quite a lot of questions on my Instagram, so I thought we could have a little chatty, more chill video. Get ready with me, grab a cup of tea, and yeah, let's get through some of your questions. Okay, so the first question is, how is Tor different from the West End? It is different in many ways. The lifestyle is a massive thing that's completely different. So obviously, when you're in the West End, it definitely becomes more of a 9-to-5 sort of feel where you are commuting in and out to work like any Londoner does. You're much more settled. You are commuting from a place that you call home, I guess. And, you know, you have all your things and all your belongings there. And maybe you're living close to friends or family or something similar. Tour life, on the other hand, is very much like your job is your life. You don't get to do your normal things that you would do day to day in your life because you don't have your friends or your family around you. You are literally in the tour bubble pretty much 24 hours a day, especially if you're sharing digs with people, which you probably are. It's almost like you're constantly at work and constantly with the same people, which is really nice. Don't get me wrong, I'm kind of sounding a little bit negative here, but it's really nice if you really get on with those people and your kind of living styles are compatible. And yeah, you might not need that space. And being on tour is so much fun. Like, you see different places every single week. There's so much stuff to do. But yeah, sometimes you do need space away, which is why, you know, I might go and sit and film a YouTube video by myself for a little bit, or I might go to a coffee shop and just read my book by myself. And that is my way of making my life a little bit normal in my head, because that's the sort of things that I would be doing if I was living at home. Also financially, normally in the West End you get paid a lot more, and on tour a lot less, depending on what show, what you're doing, what the producer is. But on tour you do get £330 a week to live on. So swings and roundabouts. Question number 2 is, does the show feel much different because of it being a different cast? So if you don't know already, I've done Grease twice now. Once in the West End and now on tour, and I was in the ensemble in the West End and I covered Frenchie and Cha-Cha, and then they bumped me up to Frenchie for the tour. The show feels completely different, just because we've got such a different mix of people playing each role, and the majority of principals are new, so the show is going to feel completely different, which is quite nice actually for somebody who's doing it a second time round. I think I would get very bored very quickly if everybody was the same. So yeah, it does feel completely different. And also the tour version of the show is quite a lot smaller than the town version, so a lot of things did change, which actually kept it quite fresh for us people who carried on to do the tour after doing town. Is anyone in the cast dating? Wouldn't be my business to say. These ones are juicy. First stage kiss. I think I've only ever kissed somebody once on stage, which was in 6th form when I was doing Thoroughly Modern Millie and I was playing Millie. Other than that though, I haven't kissed anybody on stage. I think my casting type definitely isn't the romantic lead. So yeah, I don't think I'll be doing any stage kissing for probably the rest of my career. One thing you won't miss when tour is over. Oof. I won't miss living out of my suitcase. Oh my gosh, that dreaded Saturday when that rolls around and we have to rearrange and pack for the weekend, and oh god, that is the worst thing about touring for sure. It is so much stress, so I'm definitely not gonna miss that. Would you consider touring again? Listen. This is my 3rd UK tour. Was meant to be my 4th if I actually did end up going on tour with Bring It On. Feel like I've done it a lot. I feel like I've had these experiences of going to the different cities, and I think I've been to most big theatres in the UK at least once, if not 3 times. And so that can get a little bit monotonous, and it's definitely feeling that way now. I mean, I love going to the different UK theatres. I mean, I'm in Cardiff right now, and the Wales Millennium Centre is like one of the most beautiful theatres I've ever been to. And so there is definitely perks like that, and you know, we're in Cardiff Bay and it's very peaceful around here and it's just lovely. But I do feel like I've done this tour life a lot over the past 5 years, and that is very draining. It's like my life is musical theatre rather than, I don't know, now I'm getting older, I'm 26. I feel like I'm now kind of ready to be more like, to have more of a work-life balance and to feel a little bit more settled if I can. So I think the preference moving forwards would definitely be to do either a tour where I was sat down for more than a week. All of my touring I've done has been weekly, so we move about to a different city every single week. So if I was to do something like, I don't know, you know, Wicked and Hamilton and like Lion King and like all of those massive musical theatre shows, they do, you know, 4 weeks in a venue, and I think that would feel a lot more settled. So I wouldn't mind doing something like that, or West End if I can, if there's the right show that comes around. Or alternatively, complete opposite direction, I'd love to do an international tour where I'd be going to different countries and seeing all of these different places and, you know, immersing myself in the culture and like traveling the world. That would be something that I'd be willing to just drop everything for. So we'll see. What shows have you been in? I know there's a lot of people who have been around for a long time, and this will be boring, but I know there's a lot of people who are new here, so let me just fill you in. So I left Bird College early and I did a very small UK tour called Little Miss Sunshine. It's based on an American film, and it's about a little girl who wants to go to a beauty pageant, but she's not stereotypically pretty or anything like that. Anyway, her parents like throw her into a car and they go. Anyway, it didn't really sell that well, and it was a very small tour. It was the same writers as the falsettos, and to get the rights for the falsettos that happened in London, they also had to take on board Little Miss Sunshine, and that's where I ended up. So you can imagine how that went. I was dance captain though, and that was my first job and my first experience of working professionally, let alone working as a dance captain, so I did learn a lot. That ended in the October. Then in the January I got Bring It On. That was meant to start in the April, then COVID hit, so that was 2020. Did COVID, worked as a carer, learnt loads, the most amazing experience of my life. COVID starts to come to an end, and then Bring It On comes back in the Christmas of 2021. We are meant to go on tour until the July of 2022, but we get a COVID outbreak and we lose 13 performances to COVID, and the producers say, sorry, can't do it anymore. So that gets cancelled with 2 weeks notice. Still not over that one. So that ends up ending in the February. Shortly after that, I get the UK tour of Bugsy Malone, and I am a swing, my first swing experience, and I covered Tallulah. Oh, by the way, I played Ava in Bring It On, and I also covered Campbell, which was very, very fun. Sorry, I was a swing in Bugsy Malone, and I also covered Tallulah. That was a tour that went on for 8 months, I think. maybe slightly more than that. Yeah, and then as that was ending, I auditioned for Grease in town, got that for over the summer, and then I did a panto last Christmas, and that leads us up to now where I am playing Frenchie in the Grease UK tour for 6 months, I think. I don't know, we end in November anyway. If you could be in any musical, what would it be? Matilda. How do you cope with your period while performing? Oh, girl. I mean, imagine doing a hand jive with a heavy flow. Let me just say that again. Imagine doing a hand jive with a heavy flow. It's not pleasant. I go upside down in the show 6 times. You can imagine how that feels, girls. Like, it's not the one. And I mean, I'm very open about talking about this because I feel like, why shouldn't we be? So I definitely wear both a tampon and a pad, and I will pretty much leak every single time. I am a heavy flow girl, and it's a really unpleasant experience, and we just have to get on with it. In my opinion, I think we should have a day off, 1 day off a month for where our flow is the heaviest. 1 day. 1 day is all I'm asking, because yeah, it's really not nice. And the amount of times that, you know, it's so embarrassing that we've leaked in our costumes and stuff, and it's not us that has to wash our costumes, it has to be the wardrobe team, and that's just so embarrassing. And you know, you're not maintaining any of your dignity, are you? So yeah, it's just really unpleasant. Isn't it in France or something where they're letting people have days off at the start of their period or something? But anyway, I deal with really bad cramps. It obviously affects your voice as well. It's just a big thing, but you just have to grit your teeth and get through. Unfortunately, it's quite annoying. Are you single? Yes. Do your costumes get washed in between shows? No. The only thing that gets washed in between shows, I think, is the boys' t-shirts and our underwear. Most of our costumes in the show get washed once a week, so they'll be on like a schedule. So Monday will be like our opening night tops, Tuesday will be everybody's jeans. You know, they wash everything once a week, which I'm not sure if that's enough, but that's just the way that shows work and the way that shows do it, and they couldn't possibly wash everything and get everything dry if they did it every single day. So yeah, that's just the little system they've got going. The only thing is, our like prom dresses, the beauty school costumes, the boys' suits, they can only get dry cleaned, and I think that happens about once a month. It's quite gross. Oh, a nice positive question. What do you love most about touring? I've already said this a little bit, but it is just seeing the different places every single week, and also it feels like you're on a bit of a holiday every week, I won't lie. Sometimes you don't want to cook in your digs, and so you're definitely eating out a lot more. Also, I find myself like exploring the local shopping centres a lot more. It does feel like this isn't real life, which I'm okay to just accept for now. Oh, interesting question. Did you write a monologue for your Grease audition? If so, what was it about? So, our director, Nikolai Foster, he almost always asks for you to write your own monologue as your character you're auditioning for. And it needs to be like a minute and a half, something like that. So I was auditioning for Patty at the time. This was last year when I was auditioning for Town. And so I did my monologue as Patty, and I did my monologue as if I was accepting the vice president title. And I did it as like a speech to my classmates and things. And the way that it was described to us, what we had to write the monologue about was what it's like to be a working class kid in the 1950s and stuff. And so I did it as a little acceptance speech, and then was sort of like, you know, in a speech when people are like, I am the same as you, like, you know, I've got your back, and I'm relatable to you, whatever. I did it sort of telling Patty's backstory in my head that I'd made up. So yeah, that was what it was about. Okay, slight change of scene. I'm now in Hope's room. Worst mishap or ad-lib on stage? Personally, mishap would have to be in Little Miss Sunshine. We wore these like pageant dresses, and they had a little bit of like, it was like mesh with like piping, and it was basically this massive like frill along the bottom. So it was like a tunic and then a frill that kind of covered your pants sort of thing. And I stepped in my heel, and my heel went through that mesh, and it literally unraveled, and I was stood there in a little tunic and nude knickers. So that was quite a bad mishap. Also in Bugsy Malone, we wore these gorgeous halter neck tops, and my press stud popped open. Luckily I was wearing a bra underneath, but had to hide it with my gun like this. I was dancing with my gun in front of my chest. In Greece, I just forgot to come on stage, and India was going, Frenchie, where is she? And I was just dissociating at the side of stage. If you watched my vlogs, you probably would have heard about that. And my worst ad-lib, I don't think I have an ad-lib, but I definitely have like a screwed up my lines thing. I meant to say, you know, like in that Debbie Reynolds movie? And I went, you know, like in that Debbie Reynolds movie? Nothing came out. So yeah, I don't know why that happened. I think my mind just couldn't work with my mouth at that point. Yeah. What are your audition songs? So, honestly, I sing about 3 songs for every audition. It will either be Walking on Sunshine, it will be I'm Not Alone from Carrie the musical, or it will be My Ship from Lady in the Dark, which is my legit. I also have What Only Love Can See from Chaplin, which is like a contemporary legit. Yeah, also Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. That's sometimes quite fun. Depends what I'm auditioning for, but honestly, I've sang the same songs since God knows when, since I graduated pretty much. Can you still make it in the industry if you aren't the best at dance? Absolutely. There's so many people in the industry that are here because they're singers, and that is okay. And there's also so many people who are in the industry because they are dancers and they're not the best singers. Most ensemble dancers will be incredible dancers, and then singing definitely comes second. I would say you definitely need some ability in everything. But you definitely don't have to be absolutely Royal Ballet incredible at dance, or you won't book a job. Like, think of the shows like Les Mis and Phantom. Like, they don't need you to be good dancers at all. Did you ever cover Frenchie or Cha-Cha in the West End? Yeah, so I was first cover Cha-Cha and second cover Frenchie, but neither of the girls that played those roles went off ever. So I didn't actually get the chance to go on. And somehow they still offered me Frenchie in the tour. I guess just from seeing my cover run. So never underestimate the importance of those situations. Like, thank God I had my stuff together, else I probably wouldn't have a job today. What drama school did you go to? I went to Bird College. Worst food to be put on the planet. I like this question, I like it. Thing is, I love pretty much all food. What food do I really not like? Oh my God, coriander. Is that a food? I don't know whether that's classed as a food, but coriander can get in the bin. Normally, coriander is put on something that I really like, and then it ruins it, and I'm like, please, just ease off the coriander, man. But in general, I'm not too picky. I also don't like mustard. Favourite venue has got to be the Bord Gosh in Dublin. It's beautiful, and when we're there, we get put up in really nice apartments. Like, it's the best. Do you ever break out from the amount of makeup you wear? Yes, I am prone to clogged pores. You can see here where I'm a little bit cloggy up in there. It kind of looks patchy in this light, but I promise you it's not actually patchy in real life. But yeah, I get clogged pores on my cheeks. And that is just from wearing makeup all the time. It's just really like working hard to cleanse those areas where I do have the clogged pores. I think you're meant to use your oil cleanser for like a minute or something like that, and a minute is much longer than you think when you're scrubbing your skin like that. So yeah, I just try and spend as much time as possible really like working that into my skin. Any real beef between people in the cast? Not really. Like, we're obviously together all the time, so there's gonna be disagreements, there's gonna be things that go wrong, but in general, like, this is one of the nicest casts that I've ever had. It's been so lovely being part of this company. So yeah, I wouldn't say there's been much beef at all, really. Would you work for the same Pantone company again this year? This question makes me sad. I would love to have been able to go back to Cambridge this year, but the dates just don't work. Basically, I'm in Greece for a week too long to make it work. I mean, I don't know whether they would have offered me anyway, but I would like to think that it's because it overlaps, and, you know, if they can find somebody that can be there the whole time, then that's probably preferable. But yeah, I loved Cambridge. I loved Christmas there last year. And as it stands, I mean, I don't know when this video would be released, but I'm currently not working over Christmas, so if anybody's got any pantos that you want me to be in, just give me a little bell. Any pre-show rituals? I would definitely say having a fizzy bev, probably a Pepsi Max, and definitely having some sort of mint and spraying myself to the gods with some sort of cheap perfume and deodorant. Other than that, I don't really have anything that I do. I like to listen to music. I like to put my headphones in and just put on my Discover Weekly on Spotify. That's my new favourite thing. Just suggest like music that it thinks I'll like, and I find loads of new songs and I like them, and I think that's one of my big hobbies at the moment, actually, just finding new music. But yeah, they're normally like pump, you know, let's get going songs, so yeah, really enjoy doing that. Okay, this is gonna look kind of crazy. This is the Wonder Skin lip tint. It is so good. Favourite things about playing Frenchie? She doesn't have any solo songs. She has bits and bobs of solo singing, but I don't have to psych myself up to a big musical number. That's nice. All of the scenes like mention her, and like she's made out to be this like massive part of Greece, and like the end of Act 1 is her goodbye party, and like obviously massive number about her leaving beauty school, and like it's like she's a big part without the effort. So I like that about her. All of my scenes are super cute. I get to just be nice to everyone, and sorry, my camera just died. Yeah, my scenes are all really sweet, and honestly, I just love being, you know, nice to everyone, and she's the one that the audience loves, and like, you know, she's just the best friend, and yeah, I just like her. She's so cute. My skincare routine, this has changed very, very recently because I feel like what I've been using just has been making my skin worse, sadly. Obviously, I said before that I have very clog-prone skin. Let me just get this off, hang on. Okay, yeah, I said before I have very clog-prone skin, and there was some products that I was using that were adding to my clogged pores. So, new skincare routine is oil-based cleanser followed by a water-based cleanser, both used for at least a minute. Differin, which is my active ingredient, which is retinol, I don't know, but it's called Differin, and you can get prescribed it from Boots. You can do like an online consultation and they will just give that to you, and yeah, it's good for speeding up the turnover of skin cells, which prevents clogged pores. And then barrier serum, I'm using one from Aveeno at the moment, and then moisturizer, which is the Cetaphil Daily Moisturizer. It's really thin, really lightweight, no clogging here. So I'm hoping, having started that now and using that over the next few weeks, I'm hoping to see a difference, but I will let you guys know, of course. Favorite post-show snack? Popcorn. Oh my god, the way that I am craving popcorn at the moment, I don't know why I said it like that. You know when all you want is carbs, and it's a specifically microwave popcorn, like, oh, and it's just hot, and like sometimes I put chocolate in it, and oh god, it's so good. I mean, it should really be like a protein bar or something, shouldn't it? But It's popcorn, what can I say? I think I need to stop blabbing on now because that was so many questions, but thank you all for sending them in over on my Instagram. I do this type of thing all the time, if not just like ask me a question on my Instagram and I just answer them over there on my stories. So make sure you follow me over there. Well, yeah, this will be my show makeup and it will stay on my face until I get to the show this evening. It is 2:30 right now. A load of setting spray. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe and give it a like. It really helps me, and chat to me in the comments, and my video will be suggested to other people to watch. So thank you if you do choose to do that, and I'll see you in the next one.